What is up, and welcome back to another Ace Attorney with an actual lawyer. I'm your host, Zach, joined by our voice actor, Wes.
Hello.
And our actual lawyer, Pridge.
Good evening.
Folks, please be excited. We we better be finishing case 3 tonight, and hopefully starting case 4, in which we will have a surprise guest voice actor. Who's it gonna be? Stay tuned and find out. And hey, if you can, we'd really appreciate it. Support the channel over on Patreon. That is, of course, patreon.com/SaveDataTeam. You can get yourself a bunch of cool things, like access to the VODs of every single stream we do, get yourself included as a NPC in Saving Throw, our D&D campaign, and hey, you can also get your name included in this Patreon song. Thank 'em, gotta thank 'em all, our Patreons!
Spot Cobbler, Captain Malix, Bun, Eddie Cosmo, Dave Hall, Lucha, and Sofino. HSM, Ernest, Marks, The Jester, Yane Love, Logan 01, Jack Warner.
Witch Tower, Kevin, Asian, and Selfaria, Arky, Forensic, Beck, Nicole, Smart Alec, Mystic, Woody.
Leprechaun, Jacob Bell, Crimson, Chrissy, Victor Alexander, Shadowed Navi, Soul Masters, BBC, Watts, and Riser, Sherlock, Sellert, Mr. Mocha, Straw Breaker,
Animo, Lil Ghost, Love, Godwin, Don, Ruby, John, Ash, King, Kieran, Zachary, Gosford, and Boomer, Emily.
plethora of penguins and who need to sleep, Alea, Yakta, Est, Ever, Entropy, JFJ, Nightwing, Ichiza, T, The Driver, 458, ATD.
Maho Stars, Wes, Red Crest, Will, Ben, and Chosen, Tin, Mickey, Anime, Checker, Dayton, JC, Foxington.
Anna's Bananas, LeByron, Siegfried, Haruka, Naegi, Panic Ping, and Sheberstein, Cynthios, Hannah, Fluffy, Senpai, Nick, Necrosis, Elijah, Sly, Dessert Boy, Man, Schmuggerblart, Rick Rat, Katja, Traveling in a Box, and Snowcat, Conjuring, Scribes, Yo Croissant, Fofilla, Written Word, Ginkgo, and Sibylla.
Thank 'em, gotta thank 'em all, our Patreons. That all out of the way, let's get back into the game. Chain of events.
That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life.
I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you.
Yeah, this dude screams protector vibes.
Yeah, this guy's got White Knight written all over him.
So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without knowing who he really was? I wonder what it's like to think you shot your own dad. I can't even imagine. It just has to be the worst traumatic feeling in the world.
Yes.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you crying?
No. If what she says is true.
Are you saying she's lying?
Objection!
But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve?
You'd be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay.
Well, that's not lying then, Edgeworth.
Yeah.
If you don't know you're lying, that's just misspeaking,
Being wrong,
yeah, that's just called being wrong. It's functionally not a lie.
Legally speaking, they're lying.
No, they're not. Legally speaking, they're not lying. I want to be very clear on that. Making a mistake is not perjury. Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see.
All right, yeah, we did this.
That man was not my father. He was not.
Maury comes in, absolutely destroys
Oh,
Colin
hi.
DeVore.
Oh, hi, Lance.
I gotta know what she saw at this moment.
You just gotta. Were you able to clearly see the gun?
Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. You know, in my face. People tend to remember guns when they're pointed directly at them. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me?
Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't know.
I don't want to believe it myself.
But it's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought.
Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
there it is. Specifically left hand.
Oh. I think you need to present
The Bible?
image of the badgers because it's in his right hand.
Yeah. I would assume this.
That makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still hold a gun in your left hand and shoot someone, even if that gun's in your right hand.
Right, but this... I mean, I guess it was ripped
Like, he
from
could
the
have been dual
costume.
wielding guns, but I guess you would have mentioned that as the point.
Yeah. I assume it's the Bible, right?
Nope, it's not.
Huh.
Take a good look at this. It's always the Bible, though.
What about it?
I forgot Gumshoe was here. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I don't think you pulled out the right piece of evidence. Oh, this is also me. Wonderful subordinate there. So willing to point out his boss's mistakes.
Gah! Detective Gumshoe, you will refrain from excessive talking.
I'll try, sir. Okay. No. It's not that.
Beep, beep, beep.
Swan costumes. Yeah, it does say Bad Badger is Oliver Deacon. Shoulder. Colin DeVore.
I mean, does it say something about the thing,
His
the gun being
costume?
ripped off of the costume?
It doesn't. Oh, it does say it was ripped.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that and be like, oh, but the gun was ripped off of his hand, so it wasn't.
That would be my.
The costume that we found didn't have a gun. Nope.
Really?
Even after looking at this, can you still claim what you just said to be true?
Actually, I can.
She showed you.
He's laughing pretty hard at you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, I know. But I refuse to allow him to ruffle my feathers. I'm going to remain calm and collected and find my contradiction.
Alright.
I mean, I guess just press it. I have no clue now at this point.
Hold it!
And you felt that your life was in danger, correct?
Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So,
Someone found that funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Ty's laugh is great. It's gotta be something.
Someone's
like
about to
this.
die. I busts out laughing. Do we press the other thing?
Oh, that's so stupid. No, it's not stupid.
Oh,
That's
it's
really
dominant.
good. That's good.
It's
but
then it says dominant.
that's actually
in his,
really
in his
funny.
In his police dossier, it gives his dominant hand.
Yeah.
Of one of the 4 most important pieces of information: height, weight,
Yeah.
gender,
And dominant hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fucking funny.
Ah, yes, I see on his dossier it lists his height, weight, eye color, and hand he jacks it with.
Oh no.
I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed.
Father was joining it, and by it, I mean
His peanuts.
Then
The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
was not the father.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Wait, what?
Yeah, he could.
He's saying that the fake gun was in the right hand.
Dominant, he couldn't have used his right hand because there's a gun there.
Isn't it possible that it went down like that?
I like the argument is that he couldn't use his right hand to hold the gun because there was a gun in his right hand.
Yeah.
like, that is the correct truth. But if you said that, you're like, what are you, stupid? I can't hold it. Why can't I hold all these guns?
Oops, too many guns. Oops, all guns.
Oops, all guns.
Agent Long, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying?
Not really.
Oh, well, I guess that explains it then. Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it.
Enough with the smugness. Out with it already.
Miss Pops told us earlier.
there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it.
According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops?
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face.
But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Damn it.
Even I, like, he's an
like
idiot.
He's like, I know I'm stupid, but even I feel
Stupid,
bad.
but come on. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet, the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. With what? I'll let you be the judge. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong.
It's that.
Now this is where the gun was ripped off, right?
Yeah. So both are
Yeah.
correct.
No, both hands were not occupied.
I interpret
I
it as
think both hands were because he had the gun and he still had the gun in the suitcase.
Yeah.
It's just the gun
was in the
wasn't-
different hand, or the
was
gun
in
wasn't
the different hand because
on
it was
the-
ripped off.
Yeah. I think it's both are correct.
I think that's correct as well. They are both correct.
Impossible. Then that just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. Beard? Oh, that's right. He does have a little beard.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was expecting like a big, like
A
Santa
great
Claus
big
beard.
bushy beard.
But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? What if that Bad Badger's dick was swanging out?
I don't want to think about that.
You see what a badger dick looks like? You don't want to know.
This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands. Especially since his pants were off, he needed free use of both of his hands.
Yeah, the missing model gun, because the gun was torn off.
Take that!
Are you fucking serious?
Uh-oh.
Get your head on straight, Mr. Prosecutor. That doesn't show me diddly squat.
I knew it! What I saw was just a mirage!
Wait, I can explain! Miss Pop said the Bad Badger had a gun in his left hand and the suitcase in his right. But the Bad Badger costume has a model gun attached to its right hand, which is what created this contradiction about which hand did what.
Okay.
Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? Yeah.
Okay. It's that the head was switched. They put because she said she saw the glasses. They put the glasses on a different costume. So they put the head with the Bad Badger head on a different costume.
Gotcha. The costumes have two parts to them: a head and the body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger?
A different badger?
Yes. Or, to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger Miss Pops saw really was this badger.
Really belonged to this badger. I assume the proto? Because I feel like she would have mentioned the straps. I mean, maybe. Also, I don't know. I mean, it's either the proto or the blue.
I wish we could look at evidence.
Oh, we can't now. Fuck.
Yeah, I
think
forget
it's proto.
like which ones. Well, because if let's remember, Meekins was Proto Badger.
You know what I
right?
hate?
Or
No,
was he,
Meekins-
or was
He's
he
blue.
Meekins was blue.
Okay.
Wendy Oldback was pink.
And the
Butler.
Butler was proto.
We're assuming the Butler is.
Butler was. Well, Butler was Bad Badger.
Was Proto.
He was proto.
Oh, okay.
We never saw a Bad Badger.
Well, we saw the discarded Bad Badger
True.
costume.
I hate that the proto badger is like grabbing his skin, like right here. It's kind of fucked up. Looks weird. I'm gonna guess
Like,
bad.
what are you
proto.
touching, bro?
What the heck is it?
It's the Proto Badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the Blue Badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. Okay, yeah, see, I forgot who was wearing what. And the Pink Badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the Proto Badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the Proto Badger costume?
That would be Lance.
I love that his like damage sprite, the fucking handcuffs fly off of him for a second because they're too big for his fucking hands.
His limp wrists.
Is he? You know. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which, he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing?
The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that. A setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim.
Oh, and he gave her the blank gun.
It was all done so that she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to do all that, huh?
There is but one reason, Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon.
What?
No!
That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now.
Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? Which hand do you chalk it with?
Usually my left hand. But what does that have to do with anything?
It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker chalked it with his left hand.
Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto-Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Of course. Logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
Alright, yeah, this is the missing model.
Yeah, this is the missing model gun.
Okay.
Swear to God.
Yay, we got
Finally,
there.
it took us a little minute to
We're
get back
gone.
on our bearings here.
We're just a little too smart for this game, that's all.
Sure.
We found one half
I'm
of a
using the
bad badger.
explanation. This time I just feel dumb.
Yeah, no, they got us this time.
We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout. A broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing. Plus, it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks.
What?
Miss Pops, where is the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
Are we near the ocean?
The sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although, I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question.
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove that I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high.
Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because...
You say you love Lance.
Oh.
Okay.
I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained. Continue.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. Hi, Mids. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So, Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right?
We thought it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time.
And then, the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pops saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at that time. Wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound wrong to me?
No, I mean, the fact that Lauren saw him there but then left first means that Lance could have done literally anything.
There must be something amiss about this account.
It's so obvious.
Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail.
What Miss Pop saw. I feel to you about the time Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied him to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. I mean, maybe bringing up that they left separately.
I assume you two split up, but planned a rendezvous later at a set time and place?
Yes, we planned to meet up at the stage, and then I left the hideout not long after.
And what about the ransom money?
You mean that absolutely tasteless suitcase? That was disgusting? Thing looks like it was worth $1.50 at the dollar store.
Anyone who designed it should be embarrassed.
Fucking Rototonero just like, damn.
I'm not even in this case, and I'm getting roasted.
Lance was supposed to bring that with him.
But Oliver stole it from me, along with the gun, when he escaped.
If Mr. Deacon was alive in the hideout, then the murder must have happened after that. Meaning it probably all went down at the stage. I mean, I can't really see why Miss Pops would lie at a time like this, you know?
Kay, I don't think she's lying, but rather that she's making a bad assumption. Oh, so what happened earlier when you said she was lying?
I was gonna say, is that not lying?
Yes, and I intend to show what that bad assumption is.
Alright. Subdued and restrained him. Tied him in the beam. Is that the beam, like, mirroring the one that Edgeworth was tied up to, effectively? Is that anything?
Yes? You're sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him.
Oh shit, it was Edgeworth!
It was us.
But they put him in the costume so she couldn't, or maybe they didn't even.
Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Then, are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
There's so many cases of people not confirming people's identities.
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure.
You're just as bad as Wendy Oldbag.
That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
It was really weird though, because he was wearing like a maroon suit underneath.
Yeah, I didn't remember him putting that on.
She saw a bad badger head.
The captive had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
Well?
I think there's some evidence. Surely, right?
This was... Oh yeah, the head was in the isolation room. I assume.
I don't know how that contradicts it, but...
I think it's just saying, like, he put that head on us.
Objection!
Yeah, okay.
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was this person.
It was
What a weird way to refer to yourself.
What's this person? That person is me.
Who has 2 thumbs and is a genius prosecutor? This guy. It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even after I had handed over the ransom?
No one would pay any money to save me. I'm mostly hated.
It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on. And then made your costumed escape together. Or so you pretended.
Huh? What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway.
Hold your tongue, boy.
Protect me, big strong wolf man!
It does look like he's holding on to Long's arm.
It looks like he's grabbing his arm
Yeah.
like, oh, he's frightening me, Mr. Long. Please don't let him hurt me.
Get the fuck off of me.
I don't fucking know you, kid. Don't get
Ew,
caught up in
gross.
that. Don't get caught up. Oh my god. I never noticed this before, but you're like extremely fuckable.
That's my boy!
Right? That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Tell me, Matt.
Don't get caught up in the tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth.
Title.
It's the curse of the Amano family. We were cursed by witches, you know.
To be really
To be
sexy.
eternally.
It's a pretty sweet curse, if I say so myself.
We live in these gilded prisons.
Heavy is the crown.
Tidal wave? Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now in my pants from looking at this guy.
Oh no.
We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right! You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor.
Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing.
Ah,
Who said that?
yeah!
Please, wait.
Mr. Amano.
Oh, Miles, my boy, it looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others.
Dad!
Let's see. You are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now?
The animation of the guy, like...
Did you see him walk?
Yeah.
Did you see him walking away? He was like...
Because they didn't change the animation, they just kept his
it's
hands.
still him.
Yeah.
Was that guy...
You know.
Is that what I think it is? Damn, he was packing.
It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing. And a gun! Can I see that?
Hey, wait, I thought there were 2 guns here.
Yoink!
Gumshoe just comes over. Here, kid, if you want a gun, you can have mine.
Gumshoe, stop giving firearms to children!
Oops.
Ah, dang it, I forgot again, pal.
Did I do it again?
We lose more kids that way.
Oh no.
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself.
Did you, Ernest? Did you go find these yourself?
It appears they were disposed
I mean, I
of.
hired someone to
Yeah.
do it, but as any
Exactly.
rich person, I will take credit for it. It was a
Also-
100% me decision.
Also, damn, that Bad Badger's wet.
Yeah.
It appears they were disposed of in the sea.
That Bad Badger must have seen Lance Amano.
Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There. Now, Agent Long, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit. It says.
What the fuck?
What?
The chief of police? What the... Just who does he think he is?
The Chief of Police.
Thank you, Sheena.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That was really... I didn't realize. Oh, well, I guess our job's done here.
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Oh, he actually didn't know.
There, now. There is no need to be so upset.
Why was he talking so slowly?
Sorry, I'm actually having a minor stroke.
I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
That's not how that works.
I was saying, can Interpol agents break the laws of other countries?
No. I think they very, very much are told, like, very highly, please don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please don't cause
Well, hey.
natural incidents.
Well, hey,
That would be
Pridge,
bad.
that's all they can do is just ask them nicely. Whether or not they do it or not, they can get away with it. All we have to do is
Interpol are
ask
allowed to
them nicely.
murder. Interpol's allowed to murder people if we feel
It's like, did anybody ask this guy nicely not to? Damn it!
I fucked up. No. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land.
I say while flashing money.
I can't really say no to that.
Money.
However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter
This
who
kid
found the...
really is attractive.
God damn. What's in your genes? And I don't mean your genetics. It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright now, let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren.
What?
You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such distress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it. These are the case-making pieces of evidence.
I definitely didn't pay people to alter, because it's my son, Wink.
Did you just wink?
I'll be the judge of that.
No. Look at the way I'm animated, I can't.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Boy, they really fucked up in trying to make that a punchline, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's horrid.
What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume's head.
Hey! Sparkle! I bet they're really valuable.
Yes, Kay, you should pick them up and run around with them. Make sure to...
I only do that with scissors.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here?
Look at the bullet hole.
This bullet hole.
It looks kind of burnt around the edges.
Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact.
That was like a point blank shot then.
Why is that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point blank range.
There we go. Good.
Could this gun be the actual murder weapon?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Then we don't even get to look at the fake
right.
gun.
Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen?
Thank you, Dad. This should be more than enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Those eyes.
God, he's beautiful.
Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense.
The fingerprints on the weapon. Huh.
Oh no! This isn't helpful at all!
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes.
That may be all you can do. However, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie.
You wound me. You won't. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence? Here's the thing. If there are fingerprints on the gun that are hers, she didn't take the costume off, right?
That's what I was thinking.
I think that's what we're supposed to. What's the thing breaking down who wore the costumes? Yeah, she wore the. Oh, she was in the Blue Badger, which didn't have any open hands, so she wouldn't have gotten her fingerprints on it. And I don't think she took the costume off. So
Yeah?
I think that's it. I think we just got him.
Yeah. Get him.
Fuck yeah.
Got his ass. It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume.
Uh-huh.
But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints.
Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pop's prints found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer.
But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right?
You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Fiancé, please.
Oh, Lance!
What? No way! I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right?
That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
What? How?
The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. It's the burn marks, probably, is what I'm guessing. Oh, or maybe the mirror inside the...
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Oh.
broken glass.
Yeah, why was the broken
Oh
glass
yeah,
there?
because the glass was shattered. There was the mirror in the room.
Oh, yep. Nope, that's
The broken
100%.
mirror.
That's 100% what it is.
Oh, no, it's not. This piece of evidence proves that the real crime scene is not, in fact, the stadium.
Mr. Prosecutor, I'd have to rate that piece of logic a 0 out of 10.
0? It's at least a 6.8 out of 10.
At this rate, Lolly is going to wind up arrested.
Oh, no!
Wink.
I must remain calm and think clearly. If the murder did not happen at the stadium, then the scenario where the victim was up on the stage and Miss Pops was down below. Okay, so it is the burn mark.
It is the burn
There must
mark.
be something that invalidates it.
Okay.
It's the Bad Badger head.
Yep, burn. Gunpowder burn, yes. Okay.
Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
Squeep.
Oh, hey. Take that! Squiddly. The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range.
So then, you mean the murder Miss Oldbeck saw at the stadium was really...
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn.
Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you
That's
seem to know
Mr.
all...
Smarty Pants Prosecutor Esquire to you.
Wow, fuck this guy. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then?
Alright, well, we were a step ahead with this one, with the glass.
Yeah. Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was...
Oh,
Oh, it's the haunted
the
house,
haunted
probably.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it! I know the real scene of the murder! The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here!
That had to suck to get him all the way across the fucking park to the Wild Wild West Center.
He probably
Also, what
used
an
the
interesting part.
Badger mobile.
What an
Yeah.
interesting park to have 3 sections. Stadium, Wild Wild West, and Haunted House. That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
You're going
the
to one of
3
those
most
places.
important themes.
That's it.
And then it's like they've got one roller coaster and a Ferris wheel and some
Yeah,
other...
Right.
let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we got at this park. Actually, so you walk in. It looks like you've got maybe like an info booth immediately up on entering on the right.
Uh-huh.
Ahead, it looks like you've got, I guess,
Another Gatewater hotel.
I'm gonna treat that. I'm gonna treat that as like a Cinderella castle. I'm gonna treat that as you can't actually stay there. So it's just a hollowed out building. There's nothing in there except for maybe some storage or something. Then you go right to the Wild Wild West land,
which is
you've got a
really
horse
all we
statue. Yeah, and it looks like maybe there's room. It looks like maybe there's literally just. You know those booths where you dress up in old-timey clothes and they take pictures of you?
Yeah.
It looks like that's probably it, and maybe a shooting range, which is where the guns
Wild
are.
Wild West kind of looks like it sucks.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just a restaurant. Maybe it's literally Wild Wild West land is just a restaurant and a picture-taking booth. Then you go... There's an awkward... the stadium area right above Wild Wild West is so weird because there's no road. There's no like place to. How do you get on the roller coaster?
If this was Roller Coaster Tycoon,
There is nowhere for a line to queue.
yes. If this was Roller Coaster Tycoon, everyone would be like, "I can't get to the ride."
Exactly. Also, where are the bathrooms in this place? I don't see a single place for you to go pee.
Yeah.
And then we go to the stadium. What do they do? I guess
It's
just
a
for
stadium,
concerts and stuff.
Yeah, concerts.
And then there's like, it looks like there's a lot of storage there.
It does.
And then you go to haunted house, and it's just a big haunted house. So okay.
But there's
So
also
we
looks
figured
like
out-
two different buildings in the haunted house. There's
the
like
haunted
actual
house
haunted
is
house
fucking
and the-
huge compared to like
Oh,
other
yeah.
things.
Haunted house is massive.
But
Yeah.
so is the haunted house the castle on the left?
I think it's the whole thing. I think it's a big.
I don't know.
Two separate
Maybe it's
buildings.
a-
Like, those aren't connected. So
Yeah.
they're two haunted
Well, maybe-
houses.
Here's the haunted house is the main attraction. So you go in through the big castle, and then there's a creepy like section where you go underneath the haunted house into like a weird, creepy like basement area or like a mausoleum. And then you come out, and in the little shack on the right, that's where you leave, and that's where you see all the pictures of you.
Yeah.
And that's also where the gift shop is, where you buy badgers. You buy the blue badger vampire plushies in there as well.
There's also
check
a
out
little
that
dock.
sick. Also, check out that sick pirate ship in the top left.
Yeah.
How do you get there? What does it do?
Yeah.
What's it for? Is that haunted house or Wild Wild West? I don't know.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah. So in conclusion, save your money. Don't go to Gay Waterland.
did you say gay
Not until
water?
they-
It sounded like you said gay waterland.
That's a good place to go.
My favorite water
Yeah.
park, gay waterland.
You should go
Yeah,
to Gay
dude.
Waterland.
Also, shout out to This Joke Got Me Good, Rainy Meadows in the chat, who also gifted $2 Australian, says, this episode of Defunct Land is wild.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
I can't wait. I can't wait for a couple more years when this park gets abandoned and we can go look at it and see just how creepy it is when there's no one there. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house.
The haunted house.
Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? Okay, now it's the beer fragment.
King Karen said they're turning the theme parks gay. Which is really good. Yes, they actively put chemtrails in the water in Gay Waterland that turn the freaking frogs gay. Turn the freaking badgers gay. The glass, yes.
Take that! These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror.
A mirror? What does it have to do with anything?
Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous.
I should know. However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with a revolver in the haunted house. Did I get it right?
What? Yeah.
Did
Why
I
did you
win?
say it like it was a Clue game? Yeah.
A clue. After that, you stole the Blue Badger-mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area.
I forgot about that plot point.
The timing of when the Blue Badger-mobile was stolen confirms this as fact.
Miles, my boy, say no more!
I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that.
Be quiet! Yes, please, do something! Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense!
Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps.
How dare you!
But I have money!
I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor.
What?
Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Yes, there was a mirror there.
And wasn't it broken? Oh,
A mirror that's for the haunted house.
you see? Isn't it possible that the fragments got into the costume there?
But, Agent Long, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low.
Probability? I don't know the meaning of the word.
I don't know the meaning of the word. Hey!
Nice. Long T says, on truth's path, the word probability does not exist.
All right,
Yeah.
you're just making these up now.
Yeah. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof you need?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no.
See? So since you don't have any, shut up.
I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I could prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I could prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Long, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
All right. Permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing. Got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is.
Sheena!
I'm here.
Put in the paperwork for the authorization. Immediately.
Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Who was that? No. Let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Amano.
Agent Long, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena!
It's a picture that says, "Please don't accuse my son." It's the deed to the haunted house.
Did he just buy the singular haunted house inside this theme park?
Yes?
That doesn't seem possible.
The deed.
Read it out loud.
Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the Haunted House to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million, paid in full in cash.
What?
Ho, 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 ho. As you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you...
I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye.
That $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was...
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it. I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now.
You used the ransom money?
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier.
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
So I do believe that
Oh, you apologized for the kidnapping. No issues then.
So I do believe I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
That's not how that works. We're still the police. We can still do
All right.
things with probable cause and warrants. It doesn't fucking matter who
Yeah.
owns it, you idiot.
All right, fine. May we please... No! Not enter the haunted house.
Oh,
Damn it!
Miles, my boy, you got me again.
While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us.
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Long, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper.
Ah, Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever.